Good morning, happy Saturday. I thought I'd give you a little plant tour because the plants are really bright and thriving right now. So the first plant I ever got was this Monstera, and when I got it, it was so tiny. I'm gonna try to insert a photo for you guys, but we ended up having to get this gigantic pot at my favorite nursery in Encinitas. It's called Gardens by the Sea, and that's where I got all my plants to start out with. I found a few, my first 3 plants, I'll show you in a bit, but now this plant is just so enormous. It's taking over this entire corner. I feel like, so we just rotated it, but I feel like, yeah. And when we first got the plant, it had no holes. And when it matures, the plant starts having holes. So this is actually like a split leaf philodendron. But yes, look, so many of them have holes now. And I always make sure to dust them. This one's due for a little bit of a dusting, but that was my first plant. This was also around the same purchase as the Monstera. This is a cane, or it's a Dracaena. And I just watered this one last week. It's doing really, really good. And then from there, I feel like I just started to collect plants. It gets really addicting. All of these have been repotted from when I first bought them because they just keep growing. So this is the Alocasia regal shields, and it looks like elephant ears. That's kind of like the nickname for them. There's a bigger version of this plant that my friend Joe has. He's also so good at plants. Oh my gosh, I wish I could show you his space, but that is so this one I got from the farmer's market in Little Italy, actually. It was so healthy. It just kept popping out new leaves, and it's just grown so big. This money tree I got in also Little Italy farmer's market. That little pot, okay, so this pot right here, or little planter thingy, I got from TJ Maxx. This one, Home Depot. It's really kind of hard to find like bigger containers after a while, but this money tree was so tiny. It was just right around here when I bought it, and now it's just, and we had already cut it once. So we had trimmed it once, and then now it just keeps growing. Okay, onto this side of the plant area. This one that right there, that's the rubber tree. It's the tineke. It's variegated, meaning the leaves are not one color, but look how beautiful this coloration is. When it gets a lot of light, it does pop out as more white in the leaves. And this is one of my favorite plants because it's just like, look at this like very subtle pink and then white and green. And it always comes out in new leaves. Like, it just, once one opens, there's a new one. And I did have my first pest problem with this one. I had scales, and it freaked me out. So I had to chop the tops of all their branches. And I was really like freaked out. But yeah, I was able to save it. So this plant I got from a nursery in Encinitas called, shoot, it's escaping me right now. It's the one that's really kind of famous that everyone, they have a big Instagram following. I'll link it below. It's a family one. Okay, so then up next, we got this fiddle leaf bambino. I'm telling you, when I bought this plant at Gardens by the Sea in Encinitas, it was this size, that size. Yeah. And now it's growing up to be really big. I think I've repotted you plant for about how many times I repotted? Like maybe 6 times. Repotted 6 times. So to get a scale of how small the leaves were at first, that's how small this little tree bambino was, and this stem was so much skinnier, and now it's like getting thicker. And I would say that these leaves are some of the biggest ones it has. This little rubber tree ruby, so this is the tineke because it's white. This is the rubber tree ruby because it has like the red variegation. I got this one. We were on a date night in Carlsbad, and next to Campfire, which is a really yummy restaurant in Carlsbad, there's a garden and nursery and flower shop. And so we walk in, and I was in my plant phase back then, and I had to get it. It was just like, I was like, oh, I don't have a ruby one. I have the tineke. I want to get this. It was only like, it was only $20. I always, if there's new leaves on the plant while I'm buying it, that's a good sign that the plant's going to be healthy. I've had no problems with this plant at all. It loves being next to this plant. And then, okay, story time. This little, you see this? Oh, that's pretty. So this one, this right here, little guy, is a propagation from the mother plant right here. When I started, this plant only had 5 leaves, and I wasn't sure if the cutting was gonna take, and now it's just thriving. So here we go. There it is. So I like to keep it next to the mother plant. I don't know if that means anything, but it also really likes like direct light like this. So this plant is very happy. I would have never thought 5 leaves could turn into, like, look how tall these stems are now. Full on stems. Very exciting. Let's go up here. So I've killed plants before. Let's go ahead and pluck this out. I've killed a Pothos Njoy, which is what this is, and I was able to save a cutting so that it wouldn't fully like die, or I wouldn't fully lose the plant, but this was what was left of it. So this guy, I overwatered the pothos. Pothos are really easy to overwater. Actually, you really shouldn't water them too much until their leaves get wilty. I know when to water these when these are starting to like droop. But now it's like so long. Okay, and then speaking of pothos that I killed, I also tried to save another few cuttings from that plant that I killed. It was enormous. And now this one is just like starting to get really long, and I don't know. I think I'm just gonna let it grow. I don't want any new plants because I don't have enough room now. This pothos I wanted to get because I didn't have a neon green pothos yet. Look at these yellow and green. So this one's getting super tall and long. I wrapped it around twice on this thing, so we'll see. All right, so this is a, ooh, I need to dust you. Sorry. This is a brand new leaf, but why am I blanking? Oh yeah, this is the Alocasia zebrina. So it's called that because it has a zebra detailing. And I got this one from Trader Joe's, believe it or not. So crazy. And it was only $15, but when I got it, it was so small, and now it's huge. I'm exporting the next vlog. And then this snake plant I got from the farmer's market in La Jolla. I could not resist because I didn't have a snake plant yet. This one I got from Gardens by the Sea. Oh, thank you. Oh, Lennox walked this over, but okay, how do I explain? So Aria over there, over there had a stem that was like falling apart, and I pulled it out because it was just like dangling, and it became like a full-blown new leaf or new plant. This one we call baby Aria, and it sits in my bathroom above the toilet. So that's really cool. I can't believe like that had a baby, and it's that. This is a baby Dracaena, neon one, I think. No, I don't know. But I've repotted it. I try to keep it in this pot because I want it to be a tabletop plant. And then this one I got from, this is a Monstera adansonii. I never know how to say that name. Adansonii. This one I got from Green Gardens in Pacific Beach. This is one of the latest plants I bought. I told myself no more plants because I'm running out of space. Let me pluck this out real quick. I like to pluck out yellow leaves so it doesn't take up energy from the plant. It's just because of photosynthesis, the plants can get yellow sometimes. And then this plant was getting too long, so then I propagated it, and it had a baby. So this small propagation of the Monstera adansonii wasn't doing too good, but after just patience, you just let it be and make sure you're watering it. It's doing great. Okay. All right, we go over to the kitchen. This is the Syngonium, the butterfly leaf. When I bought it, it used to be super, super like light colored, but I wanted something above the fridge. So I was willing to sacrifice like the color of the leaf. It used to be like white. When it gets lower light, it kind of loses some of that variegation, which I'm okay with. So this plant had a baby, I'll show you later. But then the money tree, we tried to propagate the clippings. This branch doesn't look like it's doing too good. Maybe I should pluck it out. Oh, I'll do it later. But that's just a little propagation from the cutting. Hey, this is the propagation from the Syngonium. I'm telling you, once you get plants, you start cutting them and propagating them, you're just gonna have like so many more plants. So I'm kind of tapped out. And here, you can kind of see it's like more white, but normally it's like really, really white. But this one likes to pop out new growth all the time. Always has new leaves. So this is the Moonshine Sansevieria, or moonshine snake plant. I like it because it has this like really white leaf. I've repotted this one. It's doing good. This is a baby that it popped out. This one too. I love plants. This is another snake plant that my friend gave me. It's not doing too good because it was just a cutting, and I've been forgetting to water it. So hopefully maybe we can revive that, maybe not. I don't know. It's gotten really soft. I'm sorry for underwatering you. Like, look at that leaf versus that leaf. This is a Bantel Sensation, and I have the main plant in the bathroom, but this one I propagated, and it's weird because when you propagate this one specifically, it doesn't come out like this pattern. Like, I like this variegated snake plant because it's super it's like really white and green. But yeah, so this is the little shoots from it. This one takes forever to, it's kind of just sitting there. I just let it be. Little quick moment for this succulents. I gotta say, succulents are my least favorite plant that I own because they're meant to be outside. So I've killed like 2 succulents from overwatering, but this one seems to be going strong. All right, so this is the Bantel Sensation. Got this one from Gardens by the Sea in Encinitas. I swear I love that one. That nursery, it's so cool. I've repotted it. It's really slow growing. This is the slowest growing plant, maybe because it's in the bathroom. There is the Monstera propagation. Out of all my plants, this is probably one that struggles the most. This is the Alocasia ornata, or no, sorry, Calathea ornata. It's just so, it's hard. It's a tough one. It does not like, it's the one that was like pink. It gets dry edges. It doesn't, I don't know. It turned white, I think, because I was giving it too much light. Anyway, anyone who has this plant and yours is thriving, let me know.